Have you ever had that feeling that someone close to you isn't quite who they say they are? Now imagine that feeling in the middle of Antarctica. Now, of course, we're talking about John Carpenter's 1982 The Thing, an absolute horror classic. Now, this film follows a group of researchers in Antarctica who find an alien that is able to absorb other life forms and then imitate them as well. At first, the alien imitates only a dog, but then the crew starts questioning whether or not the alien can imitate human life. This film focuses on the tension between characters and the slow decay of trust as the film goes on. This, of course, leads to some of the greatest tension scenes we have seen ever. One thing that shocked me in this movie was when Clark was revealed to be innocent throughout the whole movie. He was our first true suspect throughout the film, as he was the only one who spent time with the thing in its dog form. He was the one who acted kind of weird throughout the movie. I think that was his role in the movie, just to be the obvious misdirect, so when you see that he was innocent, that is the shock that you're supposed to feel. I thought Blair's character was really funny. He had like a crazy crash out throughout the middle of the movie, and throughout the movie, we're kind of shown that he is innocent. He's basically locked away in a tool shed throughout the whole movie. So we're like, oh, there's no way he is going to be the thing. But then it's revealed to us that Blair was building an entire spaceship in the basement as the thing. I like how the first act has us really confused and questioning what's going on. The characters aren't properly developed, just very minimal details about the characters are shown. Now, I think we as the audience don't really care. I think we're more focused on what the hell's happening on the screen. Now, from this movie came some of the funniest and most iconic lines ever.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
I know you gentlemen have been through a lot. And when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking couch!
This movie is so simple, yet so well executed. It's all basically set in one location, the entire movie, yet it still works really well. Now, the soundtrack to this movie was fantastic. It really had that John Carpenter Halloween feel to it, and it really built tension so effortlessly. Now, this movie also had a lot of jump scares that weren't quite predictable. Honestly, at times, you really didn't see the jump scares coming. And especially for a film made in the 80s, it had really good practical effects. Like, I don't know how they did The Thing, how they made The Thing. It looked great, but weird. Now, this movie's ending is entirely down to the audience, as we're not really sure if it's Child's character who's the thing, or if it's McCready's character who's the thing, or if it's neither of them. As Child's character was basically gone throughout the entire last scene, and McCready, we don't really know what happened to him as his line was cut going towards the cabin. So the tensions between both of them, and it's kind of an open ending that we can interpret either way. There is also this interesting theory that maybe McCready is the thing, as he is the one who comes up with the blood test idea. So when we see Palmer fail the test, it's kind of like the thing sacrificing Palmer's character just to throw off the scent from McCready's character, as he is also the only character we don't see cutting himself and actually giving his blood. Now, this is just a fun theory, but I think that's what this film does so well. It leaves a lot of loose ends that the audience can put together themselves and come up with theories and ideas based on their own viewing experience. I think the only issue I had with this film was that some of the background characters blended into each other. They weren't as significant as the main leads of the film. They all kind of blended in together, and when we're watching the movie and they start saying, this character's there, this character's there, you don't quite remember who that character was because they all just blend in together and they're just not important. Now, I think it's a good thing that we didn't spend too much time developing the characters, because if we did spend way too much time, the first act would just be too long and too boring. Also, I think we'd be able to predict much more easily the characters and who the thing is and who isn't based on comparisons of behaviors on, oh, this guy wouldn't do that because he does this. So I think it's still a good thing, even though it's just slightly annoying. Now, I think this is a truly great movie. It's an absolute horror classic that mixes suspense, tension, and gory scenes, along with great practical effects. This movie has you on edge at all times. It has you questioning yourself whether you can trust somebody or whether that somebody isn't quite who they say they are. Now, I'd recommend this movie to everybody, horror fans especially, but also classic Who Did It fans, as this movie inspired a lot of other great films like The Hateful Eight, Leviathan, Life, and it's an absolute classic. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, as that always helps me out. Likewise, if you enjoyed the film, let me know what parts you enjoyed or what parts you didn't enjoy. And as always, thank you for watching.